as we are headed towards the final session before we break for lunch. Join me as I welcome the panelists. But prior to that, let's quickly understand what this particular panel will talk about. To critically evaluate the adoption of advanced technologies in railway tracks, rolling stock, and signaling systems, exploring current challenges, future potential, and pathways to modernization aligned with the global standards and India's Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. Tracks, trains, and tech. Join me as I welcome the panelists. Please put your hands together for the Principal Executive Director at Kavach, IRISET, Ministry of Railways, Mr. Lalit Mansukhani. Well, I believe he is here, but not momentarily. Is that Mr. Mansukhani? Well, now is the time to give him a warmer, happier welcome. Thank you very much, everybody. Joining us up next is the Executive Director, MEC Engineering, Trainsets, Railways Board. Please put your hands together for Mr. Sachinder Mohan Sharma. Joining us up next, Managing Director at Schwihag, India. Please put your hands together for Mr. Harsh Kumar Bajpai. Our next panelist serves as the Head Infrastructure, Siemens Limited, Mr. Manish Agarwal. Manish जी, एक सेकंड रुक जाइए. आपका स्वागत बाकी सभी पैनलिस्ट की तरह तालियों के साथ ही किया जाएगा. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up a very enthusiastic cheer for Mr. Manish Agarwal. The final panelist, founder at Telematic Solutions. Please give it up for Dr. Simi Agarwal. All right, I believe she will momentarily join us. Completing the panel, it's time to welcome the moderator, advisor at CRIS, Ministry of Railways. Please put your hands together for Mr. Rajesh Agrawal.
Good morning, everybody. And I welcome the panelists, and thank you very much. With little time before lunch, let's have a very interesting session. You see, now this is the 21st century, and this is the age of technology. And this is what this panel is all about. So we are going to hear from these learned and experts who are actually on the job, on the advancements that are hugely being made in Indian Railways, like never before, in the areas of track, in the areas of rolling stock, and in the areas of signaling. So thank you very much for being here. I know that's a busy time. So let me start with Trainsets. So as you are all aware, you know there's a lot of focus on improving mobility. Our plan is to increase the rail share to almost 45%. Our plan is to increase the speed of trains. Our plan is to decongest our tracks. Our plan is to create train sets which will really transform the landscape of India. So, Mr. Sharma, can you tell us how we are going to be making a difference in the coming years on bringing about this technology, bringing about these train sets, and trying to move towards higher speeds?
Thank you, sir. So first of all, we are very happy that we have an indigenous train set, the train 18 that was developed, which we call Vande Bharat. And this is already running across 24 states, more than 250 districts, with a speed potential of over 160 kmph. I think it is something which is you can find maximum number of reels by people. People are enthusiastic. Recently, we even connected Jammu and Kashmir. It ran across the highest bridge in India, the Chenab Bridge. We were targeting cities, intercity travel between cities about 500 to 700 kilometers away. So we had the chair car version of the Vande Bharat, And now we are moving on. We graduate on as to meet the aspirations of people. So we are coming up with a Vande Bharat sleeper, and I'm sure it will connect cities up to even 1500 kilometers away. So that is the transition that we have made at speeds of 160 kmph. We are trying to make our routes, the tracks fit for 160 kmph. We are trying to put boundary walls on the side or W-beam fencing on the side so that we don't have trespassers coming in. We are eliminating our level crossings. So the whole ecosystem has to be there to run a train at 160 kmph. The rolling stock, of course, has proven not just the Vande Bharat. Now we have the Vande Metro at 130 kmph. We have the Amrit Bharat trains also. So we have different variants which are available, and we are trying to meet the aspirations of the public. Of course, the LHB coaches which have also come, they are also fit for 160 kmph, and overall the average speed of trains have gone up. And the good part is we are manufacturing them at ICF, which is a carbon zero production unit of ours. It has a windmill, solar, and that's how we are doing it. Of course, we have the technology partners with us, and we are trying to create a complete ecosystem so that we can have more and more people, all the stakeholders inside, and get the latest technologies from abroad as well. So that's how we're trying to progress, sir.
Congratulations, and it's lucky to have ED Trainsets with us, because it's really transforming the landscape of the country. So will we have the sleeper train by the end of this year?
Sir, already we have the sleeper train. We've done the trials. There were certain observations, and we are waiting for the safety clearances and the railway board sanction, and hopefully by the end of the year we should be having it, sir.
And the speeds of the train, will we be able to see beyond 130 kmph, or for the present, I think that perhaps the best option to stay on with?
So as I said, the whole ecosystem, the complete tracks, signaling, everything has to be fit for 160 kmph. So whereas we have a certain routes where we are doing 140, 150, but all over, if it has to run at 160, we would still require some time to build the infrastructure.
Excellent. So it's transformed the interiors, it's transformed the speeds, it's transformed the concept, and it's transformed the mobility. I'm sure the audience will also have some questions. So let me move on to Mr. Mansukhani. So now we are lucky to have you, and you'll be talking about Kavach. And Kavach is something which the whole country is looking at with bated breath. They're going to be the ultimate in security. The Europeans call it ETCS, and India is now making it indigenous. That's a fantastic thing. Europe somehow managed to do it with several years. India is going much faster, and we are going to have this Kavach very soon. So how much of Kavach do we already have? How much we're likely to have? What are the challenges? And how do you expect this whole thing to result in transforming safety, which is really the concern?
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, to answer this to address this question or query, I will start with where sir has left. Like for running the trains beyond 140 kmph, 140 kilometers per an hour, you need to have some cap signaling based automatic train protection system. That is one of the mandatory requirements. And like as sir mentioned, that apart from upgradation of track, rolling stock, and signaling also needs to be upgraded and provided. So train control system needs to be provided. So Kavach is one of the cap signaling based ATP system which fulfills this requirement. In other words, if I say we can't run the trains on commercial basis at speeds in excess of 140 kmph without you can say Kavach or any European ETCS technology yet. And all. Now coming to other part, we are seeing that Kavach is a safety system which will naturally address lot of issues related with safety of safety in train operations. One of the problem or one of the worrying item in railway is passing the signal at danger or at red, jumping the red signal. This at times causes derailments or collisions also. So Kavach would be able to take care of those things. That is a prime feature of Kavach apart from lot of other features. And not only safety, since it is, you can say, being a radio-based or continuous update type of system, I'm going little bit technical. It is, you can say, functionally equivalent to level 2 of European system. So which has got capability to enhance the capacities also, line capacity and all. So that would be there, sir. And yeah, we have already almost, we are at the verge of completion of 3,000 kilometers of installation of Kavach on our prime section from Kolkata to Delhi and Delhi to Mumbai. Works are in very advanced stage in the section. Somewhere 90% work completed, somewhere 70% completed, somewhere it is under final stage of trials and certifications and all. So as we know that Kavach has got two components, one is wayside installations and another is onboard or locomotive installations. So what I was mentioning about wayside installation 3,000 kilometer, apart from that works have been already awarded for 14,000 plus more kilometers for wayside installations. Apart from that, CLW has already awarded work for provision of onboard Kavach on the locomotives. On 10,000 locomotives, Kavach is to be provided, for which works have been already awarded to 5 indigenous companies, sir.
No, so it's very important, Kavach is not only safety, as Mr. Mansukhani is telling us very correctly that Kavach is a mandatory requirement if you want to, go for this level of operation on Indian Railways. So Kavach becomes a necessity. And then, of course, it takes care of the accidents and it takes care of signal passing at danger, as he very rightly said. Not only that, it also improves the mobility. It reduces the congestion. So Delhi, Calcutta and Delhi, Mumbai, they are the most heavily congested tracks, as everybody knows. There are no trains and very difficult to get a train ticket. So the mobility will also improve. So this is a huge development. So how soon will we see this progress? In the next 5 years or next 3 years?
Right, sir. If we cover at the rate of, let us say, 15,000 kilometers per year, which is quite ambitious.
15,000 per year?
15,000 kilometers targets are always to be kept, very stringent. May not be possible or may be possible, we can't say, but we should endeavor for that. Then also it would take at least 5-6 years. And in the meantime, we will keep on addressing the issues which come up. And as of now, we have got 5 indigenous sources which are there in field. But very soon, we will be having many more sources. And a few of them would be our technology partners will be from, those multinational companies who are already there in the field, like European Train Control System and all. To name Siemens, already they also are in the process of development of Kavach product. So with the more and more players coming into it, naturally the quality also will increase and pace of rollout also is likely to increase, and healthy competition also would be there.
Fantastic.
So that's what I would like to say.
So you have developed the full ecosystem. And 15,000 kilometers per year is phenomenal, I can tell you from my experience of Indian Railways. So that means within 2 years, 30,000 kilometers means more than 80% of the traffic carried by Indian Railways will be fully covered. So this is absolutely fantastic. It's phenomenal, and it's really great to hear that they are taking so many partners and professionals to actually make it, the best of its kind. So thank you very much, and let me move on to Mr. Bajpai. So we have a balanced panel, I think. We've got from the railways and the private sector, so a very balanced panel. I think Mr. Bajpai, you will be telling us about the tracks. And as far as the tracks are concerned, you know that Indian Railways attempts to move our trains at 160 kmph. And there's a lot of work being done in that connection, because the Trainsets, as the executive director informed us, is also moving towards 160 kmph. So how do you think this is going to be enabled in the near future, and what are the challenges, and how do you interface with the railways, and what is the future?
So thanks, sir, and good afternoon to all. One of the thing which I will tell you that there is a real momentum in India with respect to logistics and specifically for railways. So just today I returned back from Middle East Rail, and to be very frank, I am telling you that I could see 100% or 95% crowd from railway industry here. But in last 2 days, there was only one visitor in Middle East Rail who was from railways, and that too was a only company in India. IRCON visited there. Otherwise, there was not a single railway authority, anyone visiting there. So this is the reality. So I will really congratulate Vinodji that this is really a very successful show. So with this, I will tell you some achievements. So Schwihag is basically a company which support into rail track technology. And in India, we have already achieved a speed of 180 kilometers with NCRTC trials. So Delhi Meerut, it is being operated at more than 160. So this benchmark we have already achieved. Now we need to shift and see that how this can be transferred to Indian Railways, because the type of tracks are very different. Those are ballastless tracks, and in Indian Railway there is a ballasted track. So things are moving very fast now because there need to be some trials which can qualify the fastening system. Indian Railway is really pushing very hard. We are also participating. There is a lot of communications that are happening. People are traveling across the world. Indian Railway board people, RDSO, to understand the technology, what are the changes which are going to come. Because with speed, we also need to see that what will be the maintenance model, how the track should be maintained, because it will be high speed, supported by Kavach. And we need two things. One is the track, the other thing is anti-collision systems. So this is one of the bottleneck. I think rolling stock is already ready. It needs tracks and anti-collision system. So work is efficiently going on. We are continuously communicating with RDSO. There will be transfer of technology, and India will have its own fastening system. This is one of the good thing, that everything good is being taken care from the company which is supplying the fastening system across the world, and the best will come to us. So this is the thing which I will tell you, and it will happen. You will not have to waiting for it for years, but maybe in 1 or 2 years, there will be one track where the trains will be operated at 160 plus. And one of the prestigious project now I will tell you, I don't know whether you people know about it or not. There is a track line which is going to start from Rishikesh to Karanprayag. Can you tell me that what is the length of the tunnel? Anyone knows here? What will be the length of the total tunnel? The total line is 125 kilometers. 102 kilometers will be a tunnel journey. 102 kilometers. The longest track or the tunnel will be 18 kilometers. That means double the length of Atal Tunnel. So this is one of the prestigious projects where we will demonstrate to the world that we are far beyond in technology, adaptation to technology, and we will really set up various benchmark. Like they are setting some benchmark to us, we have started setting benchmark for the world. Chenab is one of the example. So let us hope we all together can make Viksit Bharat dream a success.
So that's really encouraging, and I also agree with you that we must congratulate the organizers to get this kind of a panel here, and to get the experts, the key persons involved in track, in signaling, in the train sets, and having a very balanced panel between public and private sector. I think you've raised a very critical issue that we have the rails, we have the sleepers, we have the ballast. Very critical is the fastening. And we have been very weak in the fastening. So you bring the world standards in fastening, as I have seen even in your international exhibitions. So you're supplying that, and you've already demonstrated it in NCRTC. So this fastening is, really something which will make a huge difference, and which will enable that track to remain fastened to the foundation, irrespective of the thousands of tons moving at 100 kilometers per hour on top of it. So really great work being done. And now let me move to the last member in our panel. You are representing Siemens, Mr. Manish Agarwal. I think Siemens, as everybody knows, needs no introduction, the top of the line, one of the best companies in the world. And now they are coming in a much, much bigger way in railways for introducing the latest technology. So, Mr. Agarwal, can we hear from you Siemens initiatives? I'm sure you've done fantastic work now in Dahod and other places. I'm sure you're going to be introducing more products. Siemens was one of the earliest companies to introduce their train sets in Mumbai Suburban. So let's hear from Mr. Manish that how you're going to be helping us with train sets, with track, and with signaling.
Thank you, sir. So he has left an open palette with me. I can speak about whatever.
Yes,
So I
yes,
can
please.
speak about whatever.
I'm
So
sure the
it's-
audience wants to listen to what Siemens can offer, because Siemens is, of course, top of the line.
So let's say let me start with what sir said. The tunnel system in, let's say, Jammu and Kashmir or in Karan Prayag now, they require a separate kind of electrification when the train has to run at that speed. We have done this already now in USBRL in the tunnel section between Katra and Srinagar, and we will again do this now here in the RVNL based tenders. That's something new. With that, we expect and we hope that, let's say, we will be able to take away the railway from where we are currently in the 25 kV traction, which is SNCF design of former days, and take them to a newer design, which is capable of having higher reliability at higher speeds. When we see RRTS or NCRTC in Delhi, the electrification design is a bit different to the mainline railway. And that's why it is able to take the train to a speed 160, 180 design, 160 running, and even the next RRTS corridors are expected to even touch 240. So that's something which we would like to do. We have the products for it. And taking it forward, we will do Kavach. Kavach is very close cousin of our ETCS system, or a distant cousin of the metro system we have for CBTC or distance to go. So this we will do. We are doing, as Mansukhani sir already said, we are a bit late in it. Maybe we did not want to have a competing technology to ETCS and said, okay, ETCS is the technology which is developed, why make a new one? But somehow the railway has demonstrated that it will be a technology to stay, and we will be now part of that. And when we have both the electrification and the signaling together, that will bring us to the first level of advancement. Beyond this, that how can the signaling and electrification talk to each other, include the train in between, whether it's a push-pull train set, whether it's a locomotive, but primarily the world will be push-pull train sets going forward and freight locos separately. And this constellation of three items where the power is consumed in the push-pull train set or the locomotive, and the optimization can be brought by the signaling system in terms of what speed the train must run and at what speed the train must slow down. If you can put that all together, then there is a significant or a potential significant saving in electricity, which is one of the single largest cost drivers of a railway operation, which sir would know. The single largest cost driver comes from there, and that's somewhere which we see as the future for one of the biggest railway networks to bring these three things together, and it's possible. We can do this even today in Western Europe. We can also do this today in a metro environment like a Nagpur metro or a Delhi metro. We are not able to do this today in a network of, let's say, Indian Railway, where there are really multiple legacy assets there, which are difficult to connect, and then control in a coordinated manner. But that'll be one thing we will do. When we go towards signaling, signaling also has to become like the way Apple and Samsung finally agreed to have a common charger. So this is something which is not there today, and Samsung and Apple, and I have an Apple charger and I have a Samsung charger, I will use USB-C and I will use Lightning, and finally they use the same today. That's where the signaling industry is going and should go, which is for the benefit of the operator completely. And a signaling system from Thales and a signaling system from Alstom and a signaling system from a local company, let's say HBL or Medha, will directly talk to a signaling system of Siemens, which gives the operator a huge amount of flexibility. So that's the new development which will happen, and this is, Railway is also started that. Railway has become member of the World Organization called ULINX for this, and so this is a step in that direction they are taking, and we will be part of that. In the same thought process, when we go forward, if let's say a line is being built in Jammu and Kashmir, which is more difficult terrain, do we really need to have 2 interlockings per station, and there are 10 stations in remote territory and so many people to maintain it? Instead of that, maybe you can have one centralized interlocking in Jammu or in Katra, which controls the full train. Easy to maintain, simpler. The technology is called infrastructure in the cloud, or interlocking in the cloud, or as we patented it by saying DS3. So that's something which will happen, and we will have a demo available in our factory. This is known to Railway Board and to Minister, that we will have a demo available somewhere by Christmas in our own factory for interlocking in the cloud. That's something which is really, really modern, and sir, we will be part of the first. It's not that we are going behind European countries, but we will be together with the first there. That's something which is really new, which is going to happen. And then we come to rolling stock. So we started late. We have been coming to your office. Tilak has come to your office so many times, and so we started late. We started first, actually, sorry, I must correct it. We started first with Mumbai Suburban.
Yes.
But somehow we really didn't catch speed thereafter. We had a lot of problems in Mumbai Suburban in terms of the traction motor and the traction converters, and more with motors, and somehow we got left behind. We were part of the committee which made the PPP conditions when Mr. Haldia did the PPP conditions, but we couldn't win those jobs. After 5 years, we did get now what is delivered in Dahod, and it's a good locomotive. It's a good, very good locomotive. It's one of the few which has seamlessly gone into field trial.
Yes, the new generation, just recently been launched by the Honorable Prime Minister. It's made headlines in India and abroad.
Correct, and somehow it has been lucky. It has a seamless, so far, field trial. It's been only 3-4 months, but it's not giving any kind of complexity so far, and we feel comfortable with that. We want to take the train set also to a different level. The train set is there today, but let's say, with all due respect to everybody, it is still built on a platform which is a little bit older, and it can be on a newer platform, and this is something which is in a lot of discussion. And so when we do Siemens, we would also want to do all what is not done. For example, the LHB upgrade, for example, or the LHB bogie upgrade, for example, to be more detailed, and then to only go in for a new train, or let's say how to get a new passenger train.
You had proposed a track-friendly bogie earlier.
We had done that, so, but this is where we want to go. And at the end of this, if you are able to connect the rolling stock with the signaling and the electrification, that's where we want to close it at. Lastly, in signaling, we have started how to be able to connect the legacy assets, how to connect the newer assets, and how to really be able to provide an indication of a failure before the failure will happen. With Vande Bharat trains, this will become possible because everything is of a newer generation there. There are many trains, but they are still not so many that which cannot get connected in a digital world to provide a certain amount of predictability to failure, a predictability to a more scheduled, or let's say a more cost optimized maintenance. And that is something which we are very, very keen to do the optimized maintenance of Vande Bharat equivalent trains in signaling, and likewise to do vehicle inspection and management systems across the depots. We are not really there so far. We do have products, but those products are not fitting in today into the Indian spectrum. That's thing I think I've covered it, so I have said too many things.
Thank you very much. I think you've been quite exhaustive. So if we can have very quickly, maybe in less than a minute, some supplementary thoughts. See, as far as train sets are concerned, we know that it's going to be top of the line, it's going to be changing the landscape, it's going to be improving the mobility, it's going to be bringing better classes of trains, and this has already happened all over the country. As he told us, more than 24 states, and it's going to go rapidly forward. And we've heard that, there are these partners who are also ready to contribute to all this. So any supplementary thoughts, if you can tell us, Mr. Sharma, in about a minute or so?
So I think our friend from Siemens nailed it, that all these systems have to talk to each other. So we can't have a rolling stock system not talking to the signaling system. We can't have trackside equipment not talking to each other. If they start talking to each other, then that will help us enhance the safety. So I think Kavach is one effort in that direction, that at least some systems are talking. So open protocols is something that we need to look at. We can't have a system by which every company comes up with their own protocols and they don't talk to each other. So I think in the long run, that is something that will help Indian Railways, of course, and also the industry. So I think that is something really important.
No, I think you've nailed it, because in the initial phases, I know that the TCMS was the main problem, the train control management system. So I hope that we will have a TCMS, as Mr. Sharma is telling us, who will be able to, address across platform compatibility. So, Mr. Mansukhani, I think Kavach is extremely exciting, and you making phenomenal progress, 15,000 kilometers per year. I mean, it's really music to our ears. And most of the railways is going to be covered in the next few years. So I think Siemens is also ready to bring in so much more. IoT is the flavor of the times. AI is the flavor of the time. I'm sure that in Kavach too, you must be keeping 2025 has brought about revolutionary changes in AI and ML. I'm sure those are getting incorporated in your Kavach. So any supplementary thoughts you'd like to share with the panel on this very exciting development?
Yeah, just let me...
Very quickly, if it's
very
possible.
Quickly. Actually, artificial intelligence and these are not permitted in the core safety control systems as per norms. But I'm sure that the big data which is generated and observations what we have, there is enormous scope of utilization of AI from application side, but not for the control part as of now. In ETCS also that is not done, sir. And just quickly I'll mention about interoperability, what you mentioned. Actually, in the journey of Kavach development, since day one, this was envisaged that we must have open protocols because as I mentioned earlier, that we have got wayside equipment, wayside installations and onboard installations. So wayside equipment from one OEM should be able to seamlessly talk to onboard equipment of other make. So that is a prime requirement. And with open protocols to achieve the same level of safety and security is really challenging, but that we have been able to achieve in Kavach. The new technology partners also will be able to follow those established open protocols, sir. And as Manish mentioned, that ULinks also would be enabler of interoperability at some other stage also, like between Kavach and electronic interlocking interfacing, different embedded systems, Excel counters and all. And I feel that there is some more work is required to be done for TCMS, because now more or more like we would be having Bombardier, Medha, Siemens. So all those
you'll have to be on top of them.
Yeah, interoperability.
Because I have my experience with all of them.
Yes,
so
sir, yes,
you
sir, yes,
will
sir.
have to be sitting on top of them.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So basically, ultimately, onboard Kavach will be interacting with propulsion system. So interoperability will be very much sought.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I think Mr. Bajpai, You are going to be taking us to 160 kmph and you're going to be bringing your advanced fastening systems. You're going to take us to what Karnaprayag in 100 kilometers of tunnel at 100 kmph or whatever. So tell us any supplementary thoughts and how soon can we see these developments?
I think this Rishikesh and Karan Prayag, this project should be completed in 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
It's not started yet?
No, it is already started. Drilling and other
fantastic.
things is already done.
Okay.
And the only thing that is under waiting is the track.
So the track in 2 years will be 100
2 years
kilometers?
actually, yeah.
This is absolutely phenomenal, you know, unbelievable. We would expect maybe 220 kilometers into the thing and he's talking of 200 kilometers. Absolutely phenomenal. You see, that's the aspiration of a new India. And this is how hungry we are to, you know, go ahead in this world. So let's hear from Siemens in very briefly, 1 minute, if you can tell us your final thoughts, because Siemens has, as he very rightly told us, the complete portfolio. They can contribute in signaling, they can contribute in bogies, they can contribute in train sets, they can contribute in all kinds of technologies across the complete spectrum of Indian Railways and trains and technology. So I think you were one of the earliest to start and now better late than never. So how exciting are going to be the times in the next 1 or 2 years? Are you going to be marching ahead of Hitachis and marching ahead of the Waptex and marching ahead of Alstoms and the others who are making a name?
We would like to, but it's not the easiest to march ahead of these, let's say, equally large and powerful companies. So, but we would like to.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, Siemens can definitely. Yes.
We could try, but we will try. But saying what the last thing what I would like to say, and we would be actively supporting it, is how to get a monetization policy rolled out in the railway. That how do you put together a privately funded railway project? It started many years back, a little bit slowed down, and there were initially 1 or 2 port lines which were created for this, but not beyond that. And how can we, let's say, pick up an entire zone and say that the track work, the electrification, the signaling, we do it at one time, or let's say a group of 6 depots we pick up together and say, how can we do this together? We bring it to a level which is modern, and then we do a revenue share, and that way the railway can theoretically or practically go faster because they're using somebody else's money and not the government of India's money. And that is something which is still, let's say, for us as a company, we have not been able to reach a thought process that how this can become a reality and how this can become real in India, in Indian Railway. That's
no,
also.
I think you've touched a very sore point of PPP as it's in the Indian context, you know. Neither the government, neither the public, nor the private sector knows how to bridge together. So I'm sure that those challenges are being addressed. And I am myself also involved in addressing these challenges quite successfully. I'm sure these challenges are being addressed. There's a positive mindset on both sides, and there is a positive, you know, aspiration to actually move forward. So we have, I think, a few seconds left. Can we take no? Okay. So the countdown is reduced to 1 second, 0. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a very big hand to our distinguished panelists. And please feel free to interact with them after this session.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but in my entire career of 11 years, this would be the first ever panel to finish on time. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for keeping in mind the paucity of time and also engaging the audience in productive and meaningful conversation. Thank you very much. Could I please request everyone to kindly come forward for a group picture? And to present a token of appreciation for their valuable insights, joining us on stage is the Executive Director at Urban Infra Group. Please put your hands together for Mr. Surya Shah. Yes, yes, yes. Hands together, just like that. Fantastic. Thank you. Gentlemen, kindly stay back with us on the stage for another 30 or 40 seconds. Mr. Lalit Mansukhani, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Sachinder Mohan Sharma, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Harsh Kumar Bajpai, thank you very much for your time. Mr. Manish Agrawal. And Mr. Rajesh Agrawal. Ladies and gentlemen, could I please encourage everyone to take out their mobile phones and quickly open the alarms or the clock app. Requesting everyone to set an alarm for 2:20 p.m. Sharp at 1:30 today, the lunch shall begin. Requesting everyone to utilize the next 20 minutes to pay a visit to all the stalls, to all the innovators who are out there, ensuring a great...
Wonderful idea and very thoughtful and a great exhibition. I really congratulate not only for organizing this thing.
यहाँ पे आने के बाद मतलब 2 दिन हमने स्पेंड किया और 2 दिन में हमें काफ़ी सारे अच्छे क्लाइंट्स मिले। इवन सम हमें रेलवे की भी कुछ ऑफिसर्स मिले।
when we had installed our stall, we were getting all the supports, all the manpower, all the equipments and tools that we needed. It was really pleasant experience over here.